Hey guys, hey guys, welcome to RStudio interface. This is our first. This is the one of our R for data analysis series. Today, I want us to explore what data analysis is. I want to walk you through the analysis workflow and get a quick look at the tools we use, especially in RStudio. So today the main thing here is to get to explain, to explain the data analysis workflow. So how does the data analysis workflow look like? So the first thing is usually defining the problem, defining the problem. Then the second thing is usually collecting data. After defining the problem, you have to collect data. The third thing in R is usually, after you collect data, the next thing is you clean your data. Then the fourth thing is always to explore your data. And this is what I usually refer to EDA, or exploratory data analysis in full, that exploration. Then the next thing after that, you can do now model. You can model the data. Then after modeling the data, what follows? After modeling the data, you can go to a process called interpretation. So you results. Then the last thing is to write a report. That should be number 7 here. Now I want us to think of this like a detective story. We start with a question, we gather evidence. After gathering evidence, you clean up the fact, then look for clues in the data, then use it logic. Logic in this case is now the model to solve mystery, and finally report your findings. So R is a statistical powerhouse. It is a programming language specifically meant for statistics. And RStudio is our lab. This is what I mean by RStudio, the whole screen over here. Tidyverse is our toolkit. Tidyverse is a library in R programming. And R Markdown helps us to document everything. I will show you how to use R Markdown. But since this is just an introduction video, we are going to be using R file, This is not R Markdown. Us to do a demo today. Let us create a new R script. Then you're going to use the stream str function to view the building dataset like empty cast, show summary using summary. So the first thing in R, if you want to see, there are some data that are usually by default in R you can use for practice. So if you run, for example, this line, you just run data. When you run it, then you're going to see these are different types of libraries of data that are available in R for practice. So that's how you can see the data that are available for practice. So with that, I want us to do some small task on data visualization as a practical for this class. So for data visualization in anything in R, before you do anything, you must know the package that is going to be in charge of what you want to do. For example, if you want to do data visualization, you must call the library called ggplot2. We have a library called ggplot2. So if you don't have the library by default, you must come in this window over here. Then you come and say install.packages, and you install the packages ggplot2. But I guess I have it. Then after writing this, you just run your code. So I have it. That's why you can see the error. So no need to continue. Just leave it from there. So library ggplot2. Then you must know the syntax. So you call ggplot and you start to write your code. I want us to use empty cast. Empty cast is one of the available datasets that are ready for practice in R. In RStudio, So I want us to use empty cast. Then I'm going to define my IS. Those are aesthetics. Let me say my x-axis is going to be what? My x-axis is going to be something like MPG, and my y-axis is going to be HP. These are things that are available in the dataset. So if I want to go to the next line for ggplot, I use a plus sign, and I want to get let me say I want to get what? Let me use a geom point. For geom point is for what? This one is for scatter plots, So you can see the syntax. Here is the syntax. R by default, it gives you the leakage of what you're supposed to be writing. Inside there, I don't want to write anything. I just come and specify my labs. Labs is when you want to define the title, what to appear in the x-axis and all that. So after writing that, what follows, let me just say this is a MPG versus horsepower, that is HP horsepower. Then when I run this particular part of code, you're going to see what is going to come. So you can see this is a scatter plot of MPG versus the HP, that is the horsepower. Okay, so if you want to view your mtcast dataset that is available in R, let us try str and you call mtcast, because that is the dataset I've used over here. So just come and say, you can run like this. You can see this is the overview of the dataset. I can expand this section so that you can all see what is happening. You can see we have MPG here, and I also have HP somewhere. It is here. So this is just a sample database that is available in R, and you can use it for practice. Okay. Then data types matter because they affect what kind of analysis or visualization you can perform. So you can see R handles numeric, character, logical, and factors and more. Okay, we have different types of data types that you're supposed to be aware of. For example, you can see what kind of data type is MPG. So how do you determine the type of data type? You can come here in R and say something like what? To determine the data type of MPG, how do you do that? You can say class, then I can say mtcast $, I write MPG. Okay, so control enter. You can see, let's see the result here. It is numeric. So to know the data type, you just say class MPG. So let's try and see the so you first write the name of your data set, follow with the $, and write the column you want to see the class which belongs in. So let me say the HP, the one you used. Then I come and run. You can see HP is also numeric. So that is how to check it. So you can also continue to practice depending on the assignment that has been posted already in our website. So that's all for now. We shall meet in our second class where we are going to check some other more function, and that is specifically our next program. We are going to be checking on data importing at exploration. Now we are not going to use data that is available in R. We shall create ours. That's all for today. Let's meet in the next video.